Rachel Zegler, Amandla Stenberg, Snow White, the Acolyte, all ending their careers. Folks, the era of the woke girl boss celebrity seems to have finally come to a close. We've got the evidence. We'll show it to you. Let's dive in. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel that continues to give you the news you need to know even before the drive-bys get a whiff of it. And whiffing is what they've been doing as Rachel Zegler and Amandla Stenberg are now sniffling at the loss of their careers. Cheered on, jeered on by those who wanted more and more of their abrasiveness, even as audiences close the doors to revisiting any of their films. Folks, as we dive in, click the like button, and in the comments below, let us know, please, did you go see any of the stuff that Rachel Zegler or Amandla Stenberg put out? Not many people did, and they can pout about it all they want to, but flops ahoy is, well, boy, oh boy, that's what they had. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this out of That Park Place. The end of an era is here. That's right, the woke girl boss celebrity era has come to a close, and we are going to officially announce it. This is out of thatparkplace.com. The end of Disney's girl boss celeb era. Rachel Zegler of Snow White and Amandla Stenberg of The Acolyte are done. Now, what are we talking about? Well, let's dive in. Rachel Zegler burst onto the scene with a powerful performance in West Side Story, as well as The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Discovered by Steven Spielberg, she was a force to be reckoned with, even if both her first films flopped terribly at the box office. But more than just being an abrasive young star with a talented vocal ability, Zegler also took on the role of shaming audiences. When announced as the leading lady in Snow White, she proudly declared that she would not be bleaching her skin, that the original movie was dated, and that she would not need a prince to save her in the upcoming film. Now, folks, I don't need to go through the details about just what a historical flop this was, but a flop it was indeed. It says, in the aftermath of this polarizing performance and public image, Zegler has only one confirmed upcoming project. She Gets It From Me, a modest drama co-starring Marissa Tomei, directed by Julia von Heinz. That's it. Nothing else. And additionally, her Evita run in London is over. Folks, here it is. The last performance. Andrew Lloyd Webber congratulates Rachel Zegler as Evita closes on the West End in London. This is out of parade.com by Liz Lindane. Okay? Go read the article if you'd like to. There's some scary photos in there. Let's get back to That Park Place, though. Amandla Stenberg also did the same kind of thing, right? The diss track queen of Star Wars. Now, I can't play the video because she's got it copyrighted and she'll get you with it. But that was Amandla, and she waited until a very abrasive episode of The Acolyte to come out and attack the fans, all pre-programmed. And that didn't go so well because Amandla Stenberg, who was in The Hunger Games and The Hate You Give and Bodies, 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 My Animal, all this stuff, what is she down to now? She has a minor speaking cameo in the next Spider-Verse film from Sony because she was cast in that role back when people thought she was going to be popular. So, you know, she's a holdover. And then she's going to appear in the adaptation of Children of Blood and Bone in 2027. And that's it. I mean, we could go find some very minor stuff, but I think what we can say now, the truth that we can touch upon is this strategy that these two women employed of attacking their audience and trying to split the demographics and all of that, it failed miserably. Christian, do I have the correct assessment on this, or do you think that there's going to be a renaissance, a resurrection of these women where they're brought back into prominence without any kind of apology tour? Or do I have this right, that maybe the woke era and this game plan they brought with these two women just fell flat on the floor?
Yeah, and I think you're mostly right. Listen, I think that America is a very forgiving country, and we like second chances. So I'm not ruling either actress out. But it is, I mean, it's just shocking, their fall from grace. It's just amazing that they ever thought that this was a good idea. And again, this is not, you know, if a Matt Damon comes out and says something dumb, it's Matt Damon. He's got decades of experience. People like him on screen. He's got gravitas. He can get away with that. But when you're a young performer, you don't have any of those things. Just saying these kinds of not offensive, but divisive things. It's just dumb. It's just flat out dumb. And, you know, one thing, you know, we were visiting that clip from the red carpet with our friend Rachel. You know, Gal Gadot was on the same page as her, and she really avoided all the scrutiny. I mean, she was cheering her on and literally cheering her on.
How did Gal do that, Christian? How did Gal manage to avoid the same kind of Because there was a divide later on, right? Gal came out and we found out that she had to have extra security because Rachel Zegler's nuts. How did that PR game play out?
I think generally speaking, Gal Gadot is a pleasant presence. I don't think she says terrible things on a regularity. She's a good actress. Some people have qualms with that. I disagree. I think she's solid. She was great in Wonder Woman. So I think that she kind of had this built-in goodwill where that kind of a comment just didn't really have any traction. And Rachel didn't have that. She's younger. She's just building up her persona. So I think it's one of the reasons why. By the way, you just touched on something that almost no one covered, which was a pretty big story that Gal Gadot needed extra security. Now, you think that would be headline news at Variety, CNN, and it was mostly ignored. And I just want to mention that because it shouldn't have been ignored. It was a big deal, but wrong narrative, so we couldn't cover it.
Right, wrong side of the geopolitical divide, and same thing. This young lady that was her life was ended right on the train with the deranged man. Same kind of thing where the media refused to cover that, just flat out refused. And so what makes it onto the news, oftentimes, at least in the legacy media, has far more to do with what it is they can achieve with the narrative they want to build. Rachel Zegler, though, managed to break through that because the mainstream media, or the legacy going extinct dinosaur media, they had a goal with Rachel Zegler, and that was to promote her. Also Amandla, same thing. And yet these two actresses were so efficient at wiping out their careers that they couldn't be stopped. It's amazing. So, Nat, let me go to you and just ask, is there a path back for either of these two? Will we see the return of the Zeg? Will we see Amandla back on stage with big kinds of shows and movies?
I mean, I'd say not anytime soon. And also, they entrenched themselves so much within identity politics. And right now, there's such a big backlash we're seeing with a bunch of different things, like, for example, Cracker Barrel and others. And people now do seem to be sick and tired of it, especially within the media, that they would have to wait at least 10 years and then make some sort of comeback without mentioning anything of the other things. But also, I don't think they're willing or want to apologize or say anything about what they've said or the comments they've said previously, both about the fans, both about their careers, the characters they're portraying, their own identities. So I think until that moment comes, most people won't be willing to receive them because in some sort of way, they've also betrayed the other side, or the side that they say they're representing, by making themselves get to a point of ridiculousness and showing that ridiculous point loud and proud. Yes,
absolutely. I totally agree. And, one of the things I think about, Marvin, is I kind of feel sorry for them, honestly. I mean, I know people think, no, Pro, you guys, you covered Zegler and you covered Amandla and you had a good ride with that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be controversy. Somebody's going to be the lemming. But the thing about this is, Marvin, these two ladies, they were heralded, they were supported, they were lifted up by the online NPC woke crowd, and they glowed as these characters grew in the damage they were doing to their careers. And once they fell off the cliff with audiences, that mob just left. They're not there. They're not talking about them anymore. All that has dissipated, and they're just left with having made things that were hated, and they've been rejected. And there's nothing worse for these lifetime theater kids than that kind of an ending.
Right. Well, I think what's happening, what you're seeing with them right now is, I don't think this is them going away. I think it's them hibernating for a little bit. I think it's them going to ground.
Are they bears?
I honestly think that they're in the Odin sleep, and they're just waiting for people to forget, move on to something else, and then they can come back in smaller things. I have heard a rumor that Stenberg and Zegler are starring together in an action film alongside Brie Larson, Pedro Pascal, and Simu Liu called The Unlikables.
Oh, no. How long did you work on that? That was well executed. Almost as well executed as they did to their own careers. Good job, Marv.
Written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge and directed by Leslie Headland.
Oh, boy. What an era we have lived through. Jonas, your thoughts on where we are, where we were told that these were the young starlets who were going to be the next big, movers and shakers of Hollywood, and they're gone.
It's kind of fascinating. The Rachel Zegler comedy, that was right before Snow White came out, but obviously she had a very long runway between the announcement of Snow White, There were strikes in there. I forget if COVID was in the middle of all of that, because it took so long for this movie to actually get into theaters. No, it was 2023 when she made her comments on the purple carpet there. By the way, those comments were definitely Disney approved comments. She just said them in such an awkward way that it was off-putting to fans.
Rachel, I will say, Jonas, Rachel Zegler has got an unfortunate affliction in that she thinks she's funny.
Yes, which is I mean, she's classic theater kids. Almost all of the people that we're talking about here, they've been indulged a little too long. They know where the spotlight is, and they need to get in that spotlight. And when they're off the spotlight, they need to create their own spotlight.
Well, so, their narcissism was used against them by people who saw them as useful idiots.
Absolutely. But the projects that we're seeing, the Marissa Tomei comedy, that was before Snow White came out, that was signed. And the Children of Blood and Bone, there's a long storied history of that. That was a Kathleen Kennedy project at Lucasfilm until Bob Chapek said, "I'm sorry, excuse me, you're a Star Wars studio. What are you doing?" And then they let that go by the wayside. It was pre-Ellison Paramount. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be going for in a project that appeals to Kathleen Kennedy, Rachel Zegler, sorry, not Rachel Zegler, and Amandla Stenberg, and pre-Ellison Paramount. So I don't have a lot of hope for that, just for those reasons alone. But I from here on out, I'm more interested in what happens, because I'm not hearing more news about what they're signing on to after the fact here. These are people that have shown that they will work against the studio and divide the audience. And this may be of appeal in Hollywood, in California. But if they've got any sense out in California, they're trying to sand off those edges so that they can have a product that appeal to the Midwest as if it's a foreign country, and you want to get that foreign market dollars out there, the normal people who want to eat at Cracker Barrel. And I don't think Zegler is the right kind of attractive for that, and I don't think Amandla Stenberg is capable of keeping her mouth shut and not bringing generational grievance.
All right, let's play a game with that then, and put Christian in a very uncomfortable position, one that I would not want to be in. Christian, of the two young ladies, who has the best chance of a comeback?
Oh, Rachel Zegler. I mean, she's got stage presence and chops and accolades for sure. Seems like a more three-dimensional talent. I don't know as much about the other actress. I've just seen her a little bit in The Acolyte. So yeah, and the fact that Spielberg plucked her out of obscurity, that matters too. I mean, I think that's a calling card that doesn't go away easily. And I've also I get the sense, seeing her on social media, on Instagram a little bit, that she's downplaying her hard edges, that she's being more uplifting and positive. And maybe she's a young woman. Maybe she's just showing signs of growth, or just a pragmatic streak.
Hey, we'll be here to celebrate if she can do that. Marvin?
I agree 100%. Zegler actually has talent, which is one of the more infuriating things about her.
It's true. She's a good singer.
Amandla Stenberg played two characters that shared one facial expression in The Acolyte. And after the disaster of Snow White, Rachel Zegler folded up, got quiet, and went away. Amandla Stenberg raged in the media after The Acolyte went down. She did all of those things about the racists and the misogynists all came for us and Leslie. And I think that hurts her more than anything, because she continued to hammer it. She wouldn't let it go when it was done. Whereas Zegler played the game and she was like, okay, I understand. I have to go away for a little bit now.
Marvin, what do you got in your cup down below the camera? Put the cup in the frame. What do you got? What are you drinking?
I got a shake from Steak and Shake.
Whatever that is, I want some of it, because you, sir, are on fire. That was great.
It's a Reese's peanut butter shake.
It's just beef tallow.
We want to ask Christian. We want to ask Christian what's in his cup. It's a little bit a little dangerous.
It's a light bulb. I just like it because the little dog and the Toto thing in there. That's all.
Oh, I love it. Fantastic. All right. Well, folks, they might not be popcorn buckets, but they are cups with more substance in them than what we've seen in the careers of Zegler and Stenberg. Can they pour out the tears that they've poured into them from their failed blockbuster, flopbusters? We'll find out. And folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, it would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.